That's my friend Yslene Linares from the Bronx in New York. She's a big player in the early days of Soulogy, little oracle from the Dominican Republic. We used to do some what do you call them? Open mics in Philadelphia, down on State Street or South Street, which was pretty cool. So yeah, just we had a scheduling mix up with Ty Hudnall. He's coming on next week. He's going to be coming on next week, and then he's going to come on in November and December. He's got some really good intel. A lot of you know him. So yeah, just wanted to jump on here real quick because it's been a really powerful period here, going back the last 10 days, and now that the smoke is clearing a little bit, there's still some people dealing with physical scenarios and emotional, mental, and that type of thing. Just a couple of quick things. I'm going to put up a post tonight, and we're going to do at 5 p.m. Friday Eastern Standard Time. It's still going to be Franco Friday. We're going to use that time slot to do what I call a circle of life gathering. We're going to use a Zoom room, and you're welcome to come into the Zoom room, and everybody can come on the screen that wants to come on the screen. But I'm also going to multi-stream it to all the platforms, so you can observe it, or you can actually go into the Zoom room and you can actually participate in it. We're going to do this for Kimberly and Franco because, as you know, both of them Franco's been down quite a bit for about 11 days now. He went down the same day I did a week ago, Monday, and Kimberly's taken on symptoms the last 3 or 4 days. We're going to do a private 8-person present circle of life healing tonight privately. And that's just something that kind of came up at his request as a result of all the activity that went on yesterday. But I wanted to talk a little bit about giving and receiving, equilibrium, the only law in the universe that really applies, which is equal energy exchange. This is one of the things that we're working out on planet Earth. And it also takes into consideration the quantum aspect of our abilities that go with our reality and always have. We always had been creating. We know this, but we were unconscious creators, and we can talk about how we were, misguided or duped, or one way or the other, giving our power away. Things weren't presented to us. We were hoodwinked and all that. It doesn't really matter now because we all know what's going on and we all know how to play this game. We all know that we can break any contracts, oaths, and agreements that we entered into, under circumstances that we were being misled. We know there's no bad guys. We know that our job here is to integrate polarities because that's what expands us. It expands the earth, expands the universe. And so, we're in a situation where we're making a transition, and, we spent so much of our life, really all of our life, lives, I should say, waiting for something external to do something or provide something or take away something or give something or whatever, rather than understanding that we had the power all along, just like Dorothy and the Wizard of Oz, click your heels together. But it's a really important point because, the intel that came in through the lucid dream last night, and I think I'd mentioned it actually had come in Sedona when I was with Franco. I had spent some time with him, and then I walked up to the store and I came back and I got all the information and I understood it. And I understand it better today because of what happened yesterday. And I just kind of want to go over it again because it really is, to me, the most simple explanation of how we bring equilibrium to this experience that we're all sharing together. And that is that we no longer wait for something outside of ourselves to give us something. We are all powerful. We are gods and goddesses in the flesh. We are responsible, conscious creators. We are pure, unconditional love, and we know this. And we know that through our experience in the human aspect, in this human experience, that we are being given an opportunity to create new universal code because of the massive multitude of almost infinite seeds that have been seeded on this planet that comprise us. And I'm talking about our makeup, our DNA, our spirit. You know, we're the dragons, we're the galactics, we're the inner earth brothers and sisters, we're the elementals, we're the angelics, we're any and all things, and we contain all that code and information within us. And you could call that the Akashic. And we're here in the Living Library to expand that Akashic, not just to create a better place here on the earth, but also to create a higher level of all these things that the universe, you might call the virtues of the universe, the virtues of the soul. So, you know, uh, a lot of our, you know, ways and means come down to human interaction. And you might have heard me speak many times on how I have an exercise of pulling up people in my mind's eye who have been antagonists, who piss me off, or whatever the case is. And, you know, I would visit their Facebook pages, I would visit their social media pages, and I would pull them up because I know I'm looking at myself. And as long as I'm looking at them in a way that's lesser than, or a way that I have a charge, then I know I'm perpetuating the frequency of separation, which we know is an illusion. We've made a tremendous amount of progress in this quantum field over the past few weeks, and especially over the last 2 or 3 weeks. Never underestimate the power of one unique and equal soul. And that's what really came in for me yesterday through this lucid dream that I shared with y'all, and through this whole experience involving our beloved brother Franco Di Nicola and our beloved sister Kimberly Ross. So much of what we look at, especially because social media, the highest physical form of the ethers in our experience, so much of our time is spent here. We look at the number of likes, we look at the number of views, and I'm here to tell you more than ever that they don't mean shift. Okay, there are a multitude of platforms out there that give us the content to refine and bring our discernment into a higher level of productivity and efficacy. And so when I talk about number of views, number of likes and such, number of engagements, it's really not the total volume that you see out there that counts. What counts is the engagement by those people that have been exposed or presented to a particular post or platform or such. Soulogy is one of many pillars, I think, around the world that has a very high level of engagement. If you check the group, we have a group, we also have a page, we also have my page, you got Morgan's page, we got 2 YouTube channels, one of them we haven't turned on, and a couple other 2 or 3 hanging around, of course, the website. There's a very high percentage of engagement. That means people are involved. They're not just, you know, joining a group or liking a page. And I'm not here to talk about Soulogy. I'm here to talk about how this really works. We know that everything's upside down. We know that what's up is down, what's right is left, and everything is a paradox. And somehow or another, this paradox is the 0 point field. But in terms of information, we look at these things that we do and we think, well, nobody watched, and, you know, there's only, you know, this many people watching or this many people liked it. Don't underestimate the power of one unique and equal. So don't underestimate the power of your expression. We see this happening every single day on Soul Speaks 5D. We see people come on that have never been on a live before. We see incredible testimonies, and I'm here to tell you that you and I will both understand this in a greater level of awareness as time goes on, that these seemingly small human expressions are actually permeating through the entire new Earth grid and out into the multiverses. The universe is watching us. We're creating new code by the choices we make moment by moment and day by day. And we have become conscious, responsible co-creators. And that impact onto this planet and to the multiverses is profound. It doesn't take years now. It doesn't take months or weeks. There's an instantaneous transformational creation seed that has been anchored into this earth by the higher and higher equilibrium being reached by the personal work that we do, holding ourselves accountable and bringing that divine union within ourselves to a higher level of alignment that then is replicated and mirrored in our physical shared experience. And that's just the way the spirit science works. It works that way in everywhere in the multiverses. That's why I say the law of equal energy exchange is always met. The only factor that we have had to come to grips with here is that we'd rather be conscious in our choices, knowing that we are fully creating it versus being unconscious, because that law applies either way. So now we're moving into a higher ground. We're starting to learn that we can impact others. We think in a quantum environment, I might look at this printer over here and I might have a thought that, oh, this printer it never works for me. And guess what happens? The printer never works for me. Now, I tell the printer that you always work for me, and so it always works for me. But I think the one place that we have underestimated is the effect that we have on our brothers and sisters, the effect that we have on the world, and especially in our human interactions. If I have a prominent person in my life, let's say, and we all have, the mother, the father, the brothers, sisters, exes, children, friends, and I look at that person and I have anything less than an equilibrium with them, anything less than looking at them and saying, I am your equal. And if there's anything less than that, then we have work to do. And that's why I'm a big proponent of taking those people that make you the most uncomfortable. It doesn't mean you have to call them on the phone. It doesn't mean you have to go have lunch with them. But here in the mind, in the secret place of the Most High, the third eye, whatever you want to call it, we can pull these people up and we can find equilibrium. And that is an extremely powerful thing, because what I'm saying is as the days go by, we're starting to realize that we actually affect these people as they affect us. This is a quantum environment. I think it's a beyond quantum environment, and we actually affect them. If we look at them, or enough people look at them and say, oh, what a piece of crap that person is, then that person's going to feel that energy. By the same token, it works the other way as well. So this is not something that I've seen a lot of people talk about, and I'm not any genius or anything, but energy is energy and souls are souls. And one of the things that's happening now is, even if you think that a conversation didn't go well, or whatever, or somebody projected, or there's just bad blood, the soul is hearing the soul. And when a human, such as you or me, aligns its free will with the universal knowing and universal will of the soul that I am, or that you are, and we send that signal as a transmitter we are to another individual, we impact and we are heard by the soul of the other individual. That's why there are so many people that are getting nudged now by their soul. They're getting nudged by their soul because the soul got lit up by some inspiration. And in many cases, that would be, someone that shows them the reflection of their true nature. I again think that Soul Speaks 5D is a really good example of that, because you have these people coming on. They don't have, a big public following, but they have a powerful story of transformation. They're raw, they're beautiful, they're brave, and they step forward, and it lights other souls up. And that's why you see more and more and more people that are starting to step up. And it's a beautiful thing, and it's a powerful thing. And even if you take a situation like we had yesterday, where I documented it on the videos, and the vortex was all of the people that you see on the post and on the videos, and even beyond that. uh, there was so much positive, pure, unconditional energy sent to me last week. I healed in 5 days, and you know I can't prove to you what I had. It doesn't even matter to me what the human technical term is of what I had, because I took it on as energy. Everyone took it on as energy. And that powerful, pure love energy, which is not, corny, and it's not some cliche ish type of woo woo thing. This is pure heart. This is from the soul within the soul that can only be found in the human. It did things that were immeasurable by medical science. And the same thing can happen with our brother Franco and our sister Kimberly. This is an example of how this works. It's when the intuition comes in, you run with it. It's when the sequential unfoldment of it occurs, you run with it. And we ran with it yesterday. And look what happens. We have a private healing circle tonight. We're going to have a public one tomorrow. And this is a beloved brother who has served for 37 years, who could have been many things in his life. He could have been a billionaire easily. He was an inventor in high school, for Christ's sake. He was building hydrogen engines in high school. I mean, he had visits from the Men in Black. I mean, this guy could have done a lot of things, but he has remained in the highest degree of integrity. He has attracted and been attracted to a divine feminine of the same frequency, and they have served in the Trinity energy, which is equal service to self, to brother and sister, and to the universe. And this individual was not really wanting to stay, not just because of this illness, but because of challenges he's had to the physical body for a long, long, long time that he never talks about. And I won't go into detail out of respect for him. Many people, not many, but I've run into people that, and I'm not really making this about our brother. I'm making a point, have said to him and to me, in my case, it's happened to me, it's happened to other people, where, oh, well, you need to do this and you need to do that and you need to do this. My answer to those people is, mind your own business. If you want to assist, send that pure love with no intention and no ulterior motive. This is the key. This is what came through in that lucid dream. Because there's plenty of stuff that Todd needs to work on in himself and everybody else. It's way past time to tell people how to fix themselves and what's wrong with them. Okay, it's time to fix ourselves and discover not what's wrong with us, but what programs are running. And we know this, to remove the layers, the shroud that covers the illumination of the soul. And what I'm trying to say here is that we can work now with the positive energy. We don't have to point out all the negatives. You can see the platforms that are serving the it's oversaturated in terms of what needs to be disclosed and what conspiracies there are and what the government's doing to us. These energies, though they may look large in scale to the one human that sits here, that's you, they are nothing compared to one soul that's lit. And now we have a massive tsunami of souls that are growing, that are expanding, and their power is amping up. And it's all coming from this new level of unconditional love that has been run through the soul within the soul, which is the human heart, This is the vulnerability. This is the authenticity. This is the rawness. This is the realness, and this projection from the heart, sent without agenda, sent without ulterior motive, sent without expectation, just the pure love, has the ability to instantaneously bring alignment. And this would bring in words such as instant healing, instant transformation, instant manifestation. I mean, this is real. There are people all over this world, everyone that's here in this vortex now, on the live and on the replay, that are stepping into their power. And it's not the 100th monkey effect, it's the 1 billion soul effect, because one soul can light up literally millions and millions and millions of others. So, we're getting a handle on this. And one of the ways to really accelerate at an exponential level our growth as individuals and as a community, let's just say, is to walk the talk and to actualize and embody and put into motion this coding, this higher awareness that we have. Because what happens is, and you'll see this happen, I don't make predictions, but I know the force of this circle tonight will bring a higher level of alignment to a willing recipient, Franco De Nicola. And because of the infinity equilibrium that creates, everybody gains from it. And Friday night, when we do the community circle of life gathering for Kimberly and Franco, the same thing will happen. So it won't just be a higher level of alignment or healing for these two beautiful people. It will be for everybody. But along with that goes an increase and an expansion in all of our supernatural skills and abilities. This thing is about to be turned on full blast. And I just want to say big props to everybody for hanging in there, for having faith, for loving each other, for loving yourself, for checking yourself, for looking at your projections, looking at your shadows, and continuing to grow, because that's really what it's all about. I'm happy to be a part of this, and we're going to have a show in 8 minutes with Julie Pershin. I can't remember all the details, but she pulled in some information last week, and she wanted to share it. So we will see you in a few minutes, and thank you for spending time with me and sharing space with me. I love you all. Peace out.